You should. All right, Lupin, Chapter 2
Mm-hmm.
is what we are watching.
Yeah. So
we're watching Lupin. It's on Netflix.
It's on Netflix. It's a French production. The Gentleman Burglar.
Burglar, yes.
Stars, I don't know, is it Omar Sy or something like that? I think his name is.
Yeah, it's Omar
he plays Lupin. Arsene Lupin. He's like a gentleman thief.
He is.
First episode was he was doing a heist to steal Marie Antoinette's necklace that his dad had apparently stolen when he was a kid, and the family that owned it had got it back, so he stole it to, I don't know, get revenge, I guess. I don't know, because his dad killed himself in prison. It's not seeming like he killed himself, but that's the story everyone has. And he stole this to get back at them, basically.
Yeah.
This episode starts out where he's getting it looked at by his, like, jeweler buddy. And his jeweler buddy's like, yeah, this hasn't been taken apart. Like, that was part of the story, was like...
Well, the episode starts with Arsene Lupin.
Oh, yeah, he's in prison. He's in prison. So the intro was like, okay, obviously it's trying to set up, like, oh, what kind of hijinks did he get himself in this time? Yeah. But it was like, I mean... At this point already in the series, it's like, well, it's obviously he wants to be in prison, not that he's been arrested and he's going to prison. So, like, what's the story behind this?
All right. And I was thinking, like, well, how does he get in? How does he get out?
Yeah, exactly. So his buddy is like, the necklace was never taken apart, because that was part of the story, was like, they stole the necklace and split the gems up and sold the gems individually and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And his buddy's like, nope, was never taken apart. It's still perfectly in condition of as it was, like, from the 1800s or whatever.
Yeah.
So like, that can't be right. Like, my dad stole this necklace and split it up. He's like, no, sorry, don't know what to tell you. That's not what happened.
That was fabricated by the man.
Exactly. So he, the series is starting to make me think of, like, did you ever watch, like, the Da Vinci Code?
No.
Okay. Well, in that one, it's very similar, where it'll be like, oh, they left a message on the painting, and then you go, like, to some painting and do a UV light on it, and they put a secret message on it. Not, like, in the past, but, like, contemporaneously, where, like, the museum director put a code on the painting. And that's kind of the way it is in this show, where his dad'll, like, in his, like, his suicide note basically says, like, I left a message in a book for you, and the reason that you... No, sorry, he doesn't say that. He says
he puts a bunch of spelling mistakes into this letter that he wrote that says...
there's something about a comet and library.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, my dad never spelt anything wrong. That was like a sticking point with him. So, like, this is intentional. Like, why did he spell these wrong? So he somehow has the login to, like, the police database. So he does some Googling. It's like, oh, at the time when my dad was in prison, there was a guy with the last name Comet who worked at the library in prison. So I got to talk to him, but he's in prison. He's not taking visitors. Like, how do I do it? Oh, well, I'm going to break into prison.
Yep.
And his plan is to...
Well, when does he go see... He leaves a note for... What's her face? I can't remember what her name is now.
Oh, right. He leaves a note for the heiress's, like, daughter.
Yeah.
She's, like, the one with... They bought the necklace. His dad worked for her parents, and he stole the necklace. She was at the auction. So he left a note that said, like, meet me here with one of the diamonds from the thing.
Yeah. He has the necklace taken apart.
Yeah, he's taking apart the necklace.
Yeah.
And then, so, yeah, again.
And so it shows him getting all suited up in, like, this bike delivery get up.
Like Uber
And he's,
Eats.
like, making all these calls. He's like, oh, yeah, thing with that.
Yeah, I want this hamburger.
And then he makes another call on another phone. Oh, yeah, same thing.
Yeah.
And then he shows up to the park and meets her at this, at the fountain or whatever it is. And they start talking, and he instantly can see, like, all the agents. He's like, no police.
Yes.
And you can instantly see all the people, like, watching him, all the police there. And he sees that the brooch that she's wearing has a microphone on it, so he just covers it up instantly.
Yeah. The wire that she's wearing.
Yeah.
So he's got no fear. He's like, yeah, I am. I'm Arsene or whatever. Like, you know me from your past.
Yeah. And she recognizes him instantly.
Exactly. And he's like, you know.
They're wondering why she made up the story about him having the the necklace taken apart, and she's like, we just did that for the auction.
Just to hype it up. Yeah, made up a story about how he had to rebuy it all. But he's like, okay, well, where did you get it back from? And she's like, my dad bought it from a guy in Africa. Like, that's where it was. It was in Africa. I bought it back. He bought it back. And Arsene's just like, kind of like, well, my dad went to prison for this, died for this, that he stole this. Like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Because he still kind of believes his dad did it. Like, that he was guilty.
Yeah.
At this point. But anyways, he gets away by, like, the cops are going to steal him. So the one thing that was weird about this is apparently, like, this delivery company in France, everyone has to wear the same outfit.
Yeah.
Yellow pants and yellow jacket and yellow helmet and yellow backpack.
So all the phone calls that he was making or doing at the start wasn't him taking orders. It was him doing orders from this one place to bring this one sandwich to this place, the exact same spot at the park.
Yeah, same sandwich.
When he starts riding away, all these other delivery drivers start showing up, or delivery bike people start showing up in the same outfit, and everyone's just like going around.
Yeah. And they're all riding the same bike and everything.
It's just like completely Scooby-Dooing the entire thing.
Yeah, so they're like, Jinkies, which one is the real one? They all go to the same spot, and then they all, whatever. The cops look like. It was
cheesy, but it was hilarious.
Yeah, it was interesting for sure. But it was just like, again, he's relying on his plan to just go off with not a hitch in the world. Yeah. So, but then it's like he has to get into prison to talk to this Comet guy because he wants to know what was going on with his dad. So his plan to break into prison is to, like, pretend to be this other guy's cousin and swap places with him.
Yeah.
And the guy who's swapping places with is just like, what do you think, because we're both black, they're just going to not notice?
Yeah, it's the most racist way to get into
prison.
Exactly.
And he's like, no, the guard changes right now, and, like, whatever.
Yeah.
He's like, you're new to jail. You were in, what's it called? When you're like, he was in quarantine for whatever, 7 days. No one knows what he looks like.
Yeah.
It'll work fine. And he's like, well, what about these? I'm wearing the cuffs. And Arsene's like, oh, I'm so dumb. I didn't think about the cuffs. Oh, what are we going to do? Oh, yoink. I switched them. I'm wearing them now.
I'm wearing the cuffs.
So Buddy, like, is like, all right, whatever. I'm going to walk out of here. And Arsene's like, I know why you're in here. If you sell even like one joint, I'll get you back into prison. So you're done, basically.
Just hands him his jacket. He walks out and he's in jail.
Exactly. So apparently in France, in prison, you just wear regular clothes.
Yeah. I mean, the prisons look pretty good. With the cell that he's assigned to, he's like, oh, I just made some coffee.
Yeah.
He's got like his French press, and they got a TV on the wall. It just looks like...
Is that how it is actually is in France?
I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know. I don't know.
I hear European jails are pretty nice.
But, like, obviously, because of the way they have it set up, you could just walk out in civilian clothing.
Yeah.
Like, you don't think there'd be a jumpsuit or something like that?
I don't know. That's just America.
I don't know. That's the way in Canada, too, isn't it?
Yeah, in Canada. Well, Canada borrows heavily from America.
Isn't that the whole point of the jumpsuit? Is, like, you can tell, like, he's trying to escape. He's wearing our orange jumpsuit.
Maybe.
I don't know. Anyways.
Yeah.
Maybe prison's so good in France, they're just like, nah, it's cool. I'll stay.
It's cool.
It's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, I know in, like, France and stuff, they have, like, riots and shit over everything, so they probably rioted in prison until they got, like, I want to wear my normal Nikes in prison.
Yeah.
So, who knows? But it makes it really easy for them to
swap places.
Yeah. Same thing with the last episode where it was like, oh, we don't scan the garbage through the metal detector. Yeah. It's a visual
there's some
check.
Convenient stuff to move the story along.
Yeah,
but it's forgivable.
This part I was just like, okay, is that how it really is in prison in France? Might be, I don't know. But he gets into prison, and then this guy that he replaced is like, he owes money to like the gangster in there and all this stuff. And
Comet, the guy he wants to talk to, is in the infirmary the entire time.
So now he has to get into the infirmary somehow.
And his method to get into the infirmary is like, he's walking around, they're just like chumming it up, and he realizes that the one guy owes him money.
Yeah.
Owes the gangsters money, and so he just comes up. He's like, "So, what kind of money you guys running? How do you get your drugs in here? Like, what's going on?" And then dude's like, "You talk too much." It just gives him a double tap with the shiv.
Yeah, shanks him a few times.
Yeah,
that part I was surprised at. I was like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah, I was like, "Holy!"
This is how he's getting into the infirmary. Like, wow,
just double shanks him, drops a shank on the ground.
Yeah.
They just whap whap. It was pretty intense. I was
Yeah.
like, whoa.
It looked pretty real. Like he's stabbing him and like feathers are coming out of his down jacket that he's wearing and stuff.
And so he gets into the infirmary.
So yeah, he gets, stitched up and he can talk to this guy who's like on death's door basically in the infirmary. And he's like, what did my dad, you knew my dad? And he's like, I didn't know your dad. Like I gave him a book one time before he killed himself. He gave it back to me and said I should keep it. So if anyone comes to have it for him, to give it to him.
Yeah.
And he's like, do you still have it? And he's like, yeah, look in my room, I guess, whatever. And it's like, what, do you really kept this book for like 20 years?
Yeah, right?
So
conveniently, Arsene's got himself as the guy who goes around and hands
delivers,
out like, the bed sheets and stuff like that.
After being in prison for one day, he's already got a job like this. Very convenient.
Very convenient. And so he goes into the room to give the sheets, and he's hanging out there a little bit too long, but he goes through his stuff and finds
a
the
copy of the Lupin, the Gentleman Thief, which is the book his dad gave him before he went into prison.
Yeah.
So he's like, well, this has got to be it. So he takes it, and then he's, back in his cell, and he's like looking through, and you can see where his dad like highlighted words with like coffee to spell out a message, and it said like something Grand Pierre, whatever her name was, the mother of the owner of the necklace set me up or whatever. Yeah. I'm innocent. I was set up by her. So he's like, okay, I got my information. How do I get out of prison now?
Yeah. So he's like, we don't know. He doesn't like relay his plans. We don't know anything, but he's like out in the yard again, walking around, just clutching his side.
Yeah.
And grabs like the guy's throwing the basketball, and he's like goes up for a dunk. Dunks the basketball, and all of a sudden the net's gone.
Yeah. How did he take that off so fast? I know.
And so I was like, how the hell is he going to use this net to escape prison?
Yeah, exactly. They don't show us, like you said, they don't show us his whole plan, but like he goes back to the infirmary to talk to the Comet guy, and Comet's like, I don't know how you do it, but like somehow get my wife to smile again. He's obviously going to die. And he's talking to the like nurse in the thing, and the implication,
being extremely suave.
Yeah, and but also like oh, it was nice knowing you or nice meeting you, and she's like, it'll get easier. Don't kill yourself in prison. It'll get easier. So, and then while this is going on, they're gonna the like gangsters are like they're gonna go kill him because he's not paid up or whatever.
Yeah.
So they go to the thing. He's got out. And it looks like he's hung himself in like the showers or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, it looks like he's hung himself. Like, what's going on here?
Yeah. So the ambulance shows up and
body bags him.
Yeah, body bags him.
So did they not check his vitals or anything? Like, obviously, I mean, maybe his heartbeat was so slow that they couldn't tell.
Yeah.
But they just cart him away immediately.
Yeah, get him out of there. Cart him away to the old morgue.
Yeah, so on the way to the morgue, he like wakes up in the body bag, and he rips open his shirt, and you can see he made like a harness out of the basketball net. So when he was hanging himself, he was held up by this harness.
Yeah, I don't. What is the drug that he stole?
Well, he stole some drug.
He palmed a drug out of the.
I don't.
It was infirmary.
So it was probably a fake drug because they wouldn't use a fake real drug's name because they don't like to be associated with that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Unless it's in a positive light.
Yeah.
So he palmed some, and he took like 5-6 pills or whatever. But it's very convenient that this drug was just sitting out for him to be able to steal.
Yeah.
Just the exact drug he needed.
Yeah.
He slowed down his heart rate with ninja focus, I believe is what happened.
But and then the only thing that I don't understand about this is like, how did they not? Because the harness would have had to be strung through the bed sheet that he was hanging by, but how did they not see that?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, it must be because the guys who carted him out were his friends. I don't know.
No, I think it was just whatever.
It was just you gotta really suspend your disbelief.
You do, and it's not like they didn't try to resuscitate him. Like, you think they wouldn't have ripped his shirt open and started doing compressions or something like that, or like shocked him or something. I mean, I guess shocking just corrects your incorrect heartbeat, so it wouldn't really do anything. But like an adrenaline shot, like something,
yeah.
But so there's a lot of like suspension of disbelief in this show, which is okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
But it's just like
This little bit here was a little bit harder to suspend.
Yeah, it's kind of like he needs these plans to just go off with nothing going wrong.
Yeah.
And they just his superpower is he's super lucky, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
So he wakes up in the back of the morgue, whatever,
the ambulance,
the cadaver mobile.
Yeah.
And he just unzips the bag and slips out the back.
Yeah,
And
at a red
no
light.
one's the wiser.
Yeah. So also during this episode, we get a little bit more backstory.
Yes.
On how he grew up. So he was just sitting at home, like the one cop that is there, like comes over. He's like, "Hey, okay, when's your mom coming home? We're going to child services."
Yeah.
And he's like, "No, we're just going to child services." They go to child services. He gets placed in like a foster, like an in between foster care kind of place where there's like just a ton of kids just there. And all of a sudden, and like there's the priest there, and he's like talking to him. And he's like, "This book really helped."
Yeah,
me.
he gives him the
Bible.
book,
the Bible,
the good book.
Yeah, and so there's another scene where the priest comes up and he's reading the Bible, but you learn that
he ripped out the center of it, and he has his copy of like Lupin.
Has Lupin in there. Yeah, he's like reading it, and he's like, "Oh yeah, it's really helping me." Yeah. And the priest is like the priest caretaker guy is like, "You have a person who is benefacting you and is putting you into this ultra prestigious private school." And he's like,
take advantage.
Take advantage of it. These kind of opportunities do not come around.
Yeah, exactly.
That often.
So he's like a poor guy in this, like, prestigious school. And there's a few kids like, "Hey, look, you took a wrong turn there, buddy."
Took a wrong turn at Albuquerque.
Yeah. And then he meets his buddy, the young version of the jeweler guy.
Yeah.
So they become pals. They're lifelong friends.
Yeah.
This part also, like, so it leads into where he goes to confront, I don't remember her name, Karen, the mom, the necklace's owner's wife.
Yeah.
And he's like, "You know what? I know you set my dad up. Like, what happened exactly? Tell me what was going on." And she's like, "Oh, they said that if I got him to sign the confession, it would be easier for him to get out of prison, but they didn't actually do it. They sent him away forever." And
Juliet Peregrine.
Yeah, Pellegrine.
Oh, wait, no, that's the daughter. Anne Pellegrine.
Anne Pellegrine. So he's like, "Why did you do it?" And he's like, "I was trying to help, this is why. And, I feel bad about it because then your dad killed himself because of it." And our scene at this point, I think, is kind of like, my dad didn't kill himself.
Yeah.
But why, like, what happened to the necklace? Like, who actually took the necklace? My dad didn't do it. And she's like, "I don't know. Like, I don't know the story." She's like, I tried to help, like sending you to school and everything." He's like, "That was you?" And I was like, "Okay, no, like, are you that fucking stupid?"
Of course it was her.
Oh my God. That part I was just like, okay, really? He didn't know that it was her? Like, obviously, I guess, I mean, maybe when you're a kid, you're just like, "Oh, okay, whatever." Yeah. But like, as you get older, you'd be like, "Wow, it was really weird that my whole life was paid for by some rich benefactor. I really wonder what happened there." I only know one rich person, but I don't think it was her.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he's kind of like earth shattered that like it was her paying for it. And I was like, okay, come on.
And we also find out in this episode that Hubert, the husband, is quite the guy.
Well, it seems like the whole family is quite the family.
Yeah.
The ultra rich is like, wow, okay, they're all douches. I can't believe it.
Yeah, but Anne is kind of locked away in this apartment, gilded cage. And it has no interaction with the husband at all, who is apparently just a D-bag.
Well, I mean, that's basically what they all are, I think, the ultra rich. Yeah, he gets super upset at his daughter when she's like, "Hey, like, what happened with the necklace? Like, who actually stole it?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm getting attacked by everybody, even my own daughter." Like, and then he's creepily rubbing her face. Like, "You're my beautiful daughter,
me, right? You're with us, right? You're with me, right?" Yeah, it's just disgusting.
So creepy. But even the daughter was like a colossal wench too. When she was like talking to the police officer, like, "Do you want to lose your job?
Yeah.
Like, why don't you figure out who stole this?"
Yeah, I think she's basically flexing just to keep our scene.
No, I know, but like just the way it was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
It seemed really bad.
Yeah. I think it's because she didn't want to get questioned. So she was like just super flexing so she didn't have to give any information away on that she knew.
Exactly. I mean, there was a few other things that happened. Like they show his son's really into reading this Lupin book and whatever, but it was, who knows what hijinks he's gonna get into the next episode.
Yeah.
I enjoyed this episode more than the first episode.
I definitely did as well.
It was
I
much
really
better
liked
than
it.
the first one, which is weird because usually they like try to get the first episode is like, we want to get this series. Here's the pilot. Please, let us go. So usually the first episode is like the highlight of a series, and it sort of like either keeps that level or goes down. But this one I enjoyed a lot more. I was more able to believe it, even though there was parts where it was like, okay, like, all right. But there was less of that in this one than the first one.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward
I
to
immediately wanted to watch another episode, but I was like, I gotta wait.
Yeah, me too. I was like, I should watch another, and I was like, no. I gotta wait.
Yeah.
So I liked it a lot more than the first one.
So did I.
I mean, I enjoyed the first one. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, yeah.
This one was a lot.
100%.
I like this one a lot more.
Yeah, me too.
So
Well, I think it's because there was a lot more. We learned a lot more about the characters and what their intentions are.
Well, I guess in the
everything.
first episode, the way they show it is like they start off and like this guy's a bum. He has no job.
Yeah.
He's a janitor, and then they show like, oh, he's actually a master thief.
Yeah.
You just didn't know that.
You didn't
Haha,
know.
we got you. But in the second one, we know like, okay, he is a master thief. Like the first episode is like he comes to this guy. He's like, I'm a janitor. We're gonna steal this $30 million necklace. Like it's flawless plan, man. We can totally do it. And it's just like, really, these guys would go along with this?
Yeah.
And then now it's like, okay, he's like his whole life has been leading up to him being like this master thief. So everything is about like, his ability to like, not manipulate, but like to like get people to go along with him and work on the plan and everything like that. So it's a little more like, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I like it. There's only 4 more episodes left. Something like
there's
that.
actually only 5 episodes in the season.
Okay, 3 more.
3 more episodes left.
So
season 1 has a part 1 and a part 2, so there's 10 in total.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Well, aren't they all called part? It's on part 3 right now. So I think every season is just called part.
Yeah, well, it's part 1, season 1.
Oh,
part 2, season 1, and then
there's 3 there. So I don't know what the other one is called.
Yeah, I think 3 might be part 3, season 2.
Okay. Anyways, we'll see if we got to continue going on after episode 5, or if like She-Hulk and all that other shit started up.
Yeah, even if there are started up, I will probably continue.
Well,
to watch.
I mean, the way
unless we're gonna watch after She-Hulk and Andor.
Yeah, I guess they
If
don't
we're
both
gonna-
start the same day, but
No.
I said that like I was like, it's a chore for me to watch this. Like, oh, if I have to watch it, I'll continue watching it.
Well, if I have to watch it, then I will stop watching it.
But if we're not doing it for the
If we're
show,
not
you're just gonna be like, I'm gonna watch 10 episodes in a row.
Yeah.
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 Okay,
For sure.
I get it.
If we're not going to continue talking about it for the next season, then yeah, I'm just gonna watch it all.
We'll see how it goes when it gets time to be near She-Hulk and everything.
Yeah.
And Andor, if we have time to do it on the show or whatever.
Yeah.
Because
So
we
if
got to
any-
do She-Hulk and we got to do Andor.
Yeah, there's She-Hulk comes out when?
August 20 something.
24th.
Yeah, so we got lots of time.
Yeah, so we got 4 more weeks.
Yeah,
and
so
there's
we can
only
at
3 more
least
episodes.
get through this first
Oh yeah.
part.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But
It'll time out.
and then Andor starts in September, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, we might be able to slide it in.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I like it. You should watch it.
Definitely.
It's on Netflix.
Definitely watch it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's worth it. And watch it French with English subtitles.
Yes, definitely do.
I didn't try it with English like voiceovers, but I'm sure it's bad.
That could be. It could be. I didn't try it either. I was like, no, it's in French. I'm watching it in French. But I was like looking at my options because I turned subtitles on for Plague Tale.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, oh, I should turn it to French.
Oh yeah. Did you?
I didn't.
Oh.
I didn't, just because I don't know why I didn't.
Yeah.
I just didn't for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Next chapter, definitely French.
If you remember.
If I remember, yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm just gonna leave it on in English because now I'm used to Amicia sounding like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I like Hugo's voice. It's childlike and whimsical.
yeah, I wonder how old that guy was doing Hugo's voice. He does a good job.
Yeah, for sure.
So
For
they all
sure.
do actually. I think Lucas is probably the weakest one, but everyone's pretty good.
I think you're right too.
So
I think
anyways.
you're right. You know who else is the weakest one?
I don't know.
Anyone else who does not subscribe to the Stream Void Podcast Patreon.
Wow, the shade.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Patreon.com/StreamVoidPod. You can get in there. You can support this podcast. You can help us pay for the hosting.
Yeah.
And
do
not
that.
only that, but you get an hour, at least an hour of bonus content. Half an hour that nobody hears, except for us, because, you know, it's... Wait, did you even have McDonald's today?
I didn't. I had Apple Jacks before I came.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't have any ASMR food eats today.
No ASMR food eating, just us talking about
I was up so early
stuff.
that I had time to eat breakfast and play a game and watch American Dad.
Wow, you were up early for sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Bonus content. You get this podcast early on Sunday so that you can listen to it on your Monday morning drive to work.
Yes.
Yes, you can.
I'm going to call out Don Daddy right now and be like, why are you not on the Patreon?
Why are you not on the Patreon?
It's an easy,
very easy.
cool breeze
$1
blowing
month.
through your wallet.
$1 a month, you can get access to all
I'm
the
going to call one person out per episode.
Per
now.
episode?
Yeah.
Do it.
Don Daddy, I'm calling you out right now.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I was actually talking about that. I was like, oh, you know what you guys need to do? Go to patreon.com.
Yeah.
I was
Did
doing
they?
it at the barbecue.
Did they?
They did not.
Oh, son of a bitches. God damn it.